Liquor stall out them pint bottles out granny crib. I poured so much I ain't want to live. Told money then, shit we in the wind. I was in the hood when I clipped the bin. Since a young nigga I been ready. Went glass house on every Chevy. In this game I tried plenty settings. It's all or nothing how niggas been. Got sucker niggas, keep suckers with them. One of the reasons I ain't fucking with them. Trish Tech and some more than her. Guess she couldn't even afford a winner. I'm open late, don't need a scale, and it's always over. Sneak wishing well, I double down, slick shit to spell. Shawty know I don't kiss and tell. I'm faded, 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 faded. I'm faded, 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 faded. Hell, I'm faded, 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 faded. I'm faded, 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 faded.
Oh man, here we go. All right, chat. What we doing tonight, chat? Y'all locked in?
Welcome to the greatest damn show on YouTube. Welcome to the greatest damn show on YouTube.
Y'all locked in, chat? Y'all ready? Oh man! Double tap the screen, shut live out. What we doing tonight, chat? Double tap the screen, shut live out. What we doing tonight, chat? They say Trump says America will take over Greenland. France ready to leave Nato, and they're calling for a bounty on Bulletproof, man. Double tap the screen, shut live out, chat. We got an action-packed episode, man. Call your auntie, uncle, and your cousin. Tell them plug live and he running his mouth. I don't care if you far left, far right, liberal, conservative, Marxist, fascist, alien, NPC. Get your ass in. We finna, damn, I forgot the intro, Chad. Damn, that's crazy. I haven't done the intro in so long, man. Let's redo that. I don't care if you far left, far right, liberal, conservative, Marxist, fascist, alien, NPC. Get your ass in. We finna have them conversations tonight. So call your auntie, uncle, and your cousin. Tell them plug live and he running his mouth. Look, chat, we are 25 subscribers away from the next sub goal. Since I've been live, one of you punk motherfuckers done unsubscribed, but it is what it is, man. We're 25 subscribers away from the next sub goal. We're trying to get to 100 likes. Go and get the likes up so we can push to the algorithm, chat. We do have an action-packed episode. What do we have? Bloomberg reports China is eyeing Canadian, not Iranian oil. So how do y'all think that's going to go? Especially with us with Trump coming out making that bold statement today. Canada is going to be selling China oil. How do you feel about that, chat? Also, they're saying an autonomous zone has been declared by the protesters in Minneapolis. Is being referred to as a no-go zone for police. The zone spans for several blocks. Residents are barred from driving to their homes. It's looking like some dystopian future shit. I'm just gonna be all the way honest with you, chat. Also, Mamdani's advisor and one of Mamdani's advisors' plans for socialized housing has been going viral. She's saying if you make $0, your house will be free. If you make any money, you will pay 30% of what you make towards your housing. So if you make $500,000, yeah, it's gonna be paying about $150,000 for this house, which is crazy. Also, we got a viral clip that's saying allegedly Russians have strapped an anti-tank mine to an African and turned him into a kamikaze. It looked like he was an African soldier, fighting with Russia alongside Russians, and they strapped an anti-tank mine to this man. It's crazy. Also, we got Marco Rubio handing Trump a note during the meeting. It was supposed to be private. Trump read that bad boy out loud, classic Trump style. We also have a protester run over by a vehicle at a vigil for Mrs. Renee Good. This was in Hartford, Connecticut. The the premier of Greenland has issued a statement after Trump said that we will take Greenland the easy way or the hard way. Also, we have new body cam footage coming out from Miss Renee Greenland losing her life. We got an action-packed episode tonight. Be sure to double tap the screen, shut the live out, chat. We are 25 subscribers away from the next sub goal. I hope everybody's having a great night. If you are with taking Greenland, press 2 in the chat. If you are not with taking Greenland, press 3 in the chat. If you're with it, press 2. If you're not with it, press 3. We got a live poll to start off this bad boy. Chat, a live poll to start off this bad boy. Let's get into it, man. This is the a clip about the ICE agents and the new angle of Miss Renee Good losing her life.
Shooting in Minneapolis. Moments ago, CNN obtained...
I seen one, chat. I seen a new one, and I thought it was body cam, but I didn't hear any gunshots. On the new footage I seen, I heard people talking and stuff, and it was a different camera angle, right? But I didn't hear any gunshots. Like, I don't know why the gunshot audio just wasn't there. I just didn't hear any gunshots.
Video from an ICE officer's cell phone that captures the confrontation with Renee Good that preceded, at least in part, her shooting. A DHS official confirms the video was recorded on the agent's cell phone camera. We do warn you, there is profanity. This is disturbing content. Here it is.
That's fine. I'm not mad at you. Show your face. I'm not mad at you. That's okay. We don't change our plates every morning, just so you know. It'll be the same plate when you come talk to us later. That's fine. U.S. citizen, former fucking country. You want to come at us? You want to come at us? I say go get yourself some lunch, big boy. Go ahead.
Out of the car. Get out of the fucking car. Get out of the car. Oh!
CNN's Josh Campbell is standing.
I'm not gonna lie, chat. I know that woman. At first, reports were coming out that an officer told her to drive, baby, drive. Now they're saying that that was that other woman. That was the woman that was, saying we don't change our plates every day. It's the one who said drive, baby, drive. I'm gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie, chat. I know she feels like it's shit right now. The lady who said drive, baby, drive. I'm just gonna be honest. She probably feels like it's shit right now. We're gonna play that again, man. This lady right here, hold on. Not her.
I'm not mad at you. Show your face. I'm not mad at you. That's okay. We don't change our plates every morning, just so you know. It'll be the same plate when...
This lady right here is the one who I'm assuming is the one who yelled, drive, baby, drive. If that's her, I know she feels like shit right now. She has to feel like shit.
Come talk to us later.
I'm sorry,
that's fine.
man.
U.S.
Oh, that's her wife? Yeah, that's her wife. I know she feels like shit, bro. I thought it was the police officer that yelled, drive, baby, drive. That's what y'all were coming in here telling me, it was the police officer. Now that I'm seeing this and I can put the voice to a face, yeah, I think that was her that said it. Ah, gosh, man, I know she feels crazy.
Citizen, former fucking country. You want to come at us? You want to come at us? I say go get yourself some lunch, big boy. Go ahead.
Out of the car. Get out of the fucking car. Get out of the car. Oh!
CNN's Josh Campbell is standing by.
Oh, he said fucking bitch after he shot her? After he shot her, he said fucking bitch? Thank you, Najee.
CNN's Josh Campbell is standing by.
Wow. Oh, you said that was her wife that said? Who said fucking bitch? That wasn't her wife that said fucking bitch.
CNN's Josh Campbell is standing by to walk us.
Yeah, that was a man's voice.
CNN's Josh Campbell is standing by to walk us through this. We also have John Miller with us, who we'll bring in here momentarily. Josh, take us through this.
Well, this is a critical new angle. This was the actual vantage point of the officer, and we know that not many immigration officers actually wear body.
I'm gonna keep it all the way honest with you. I'm gonna play a clip from an officer that's speaking about it. He said he was in law enforcement. I haven't watched the clip at all. So we're gonna break this down over the next few minutes. But what I am going to say is, I don't think she tried to run the man over. I think she was trying to get up out of there. She was trying to turn. I think that it should be, he should turn in his damn badge. I feel like he should turn in his badge while the investigation goes on and let the court decide. If the court finds him not guilty, the court finds him not guilty. If the court finds him guilty, the court finds him guilty. That's how what I feel should happen, man. Because if this was one of us, if some shit like that happened to one of us, our ass would be in jail until we defended ourselves, until further notice. We would have had to post a bond or do something, honestly.
Worn cameras, but in this instance, the immigration agent was holding his phone up, essentially filming this encounter, which we can now see in this video obtained by our colleague Holmes Librand.
Thank you,
So in
Purple.
the video, you see that the officers are making contact with Renee Good there. She's parked somewhat perpendicular in a street. And there's another woman that's there, which is outside the vehicle. And you can tell, as the exchange there with Renee Good, that, she's being somewhat pleasant. The other woman is, kind of mouthy, and this is obviously a bit tense. She, tells the agent at one point, why don't you go get some lunch, big boy. You also see critically, and I'll get to this in a second, bystanders behind the vehicle. We've seen other angles. This one shows us again the vantage point of that officer. Another agent.
Correct. That's why I'm saying let the court decide, because there is a statute that's saying that if someone uses their vehicle as a weapon, you can use lethal force. But there's also precedent saying that as an officer, you're not supposed to walk in front of a vehicle. You're not supposed to put yourself in that situation. That's why I'm saying let the court decide, because there's argument for both ways. There's argument both ways. I'm saying that if this was a regular citizen and some shit like this, if this was you and somebody at the gas station drove their car and was trying to turn out and almost hit you, or they were looking like they were going to hit you, and you felt threatened and you upped your gun and shot them, your ass would go to jail. You would have to bond out. You would have to get a lawyer, and you would have to, go to court. Shit, damn. Sometimes they say what? They do the investigation. They say you didn't do anything wrong. They let you go down to the station and get your gun back. I've seen it. I've seen people, unalive people, go to the station and get their damn gun back because it just was what it was. Right?
Orders Renee Good out of the vehicle. This agent then walks around.
But no investigation is crazy. No investigation, no anything is crazy.
That is the moment that she then takes off. And on that audio, what we hear, it appears that you can actually hear friction on the phone. It appears. Man,
I don't care if you're talking about Texas or Florida or nothing, man. Your ass is going to jail. Now, will you beat the case? Probably. You probably can beat the case on some stand your ground. But to think you're not going to go to jail and get a fucking mugshot and fingerprinted is crazy. Try it, man. Your ass is going to jail. Justified, unjustified, you shoot someone, you can expect to carry your ass down to that station, man, until further notice.
From other angles that the agent was indeed struck by that vehicle, but you hear on the audio, it appears friction on the phone. That could be from the vehicle strike, that could be from the phone on his clothing, but then it appears 3 shots were fired after that. And then you hear afterwards someone, it appears maybe an immigration agent who was there, actually used profanity, calling her an effing B, which we heard on the audio there. Now let's talk about the tactics for a second. So, I can tell you this as a former federal agent, that law enforcement officers can use deadly force only when necessary, when they believe that there is an imminent threat to their life. In this instance,
it sounds a lot like stand your ground. You can use imminent force when you believe there's a threat to your life, man. Some shit going on, man. What do you mean I'm talking nonsense? No, I'm not, man. No, I'm not. What do you mean I'm talking nonsense? Shoot someone if you want to, man. Your ass is going to jail until further notice, man. Until they find you innocent. There's going to be an investigation. They're going to say it was justified or not justified. Otherwise, your ass is going to court, man, and you will be charged with second-degree murder. Some shit, man. There's going to be some sort of investigation. They're not just going to say, hey, what's your name? Let me see what your name is. I know you got a weak ass name anyway. Yep, for sure, with that weak ass name. Yep, for sure, just shot someone. We're not going to investigate it. We're not going to do shit. We're just going to send them home, Fuck.
Since you have a moving vehicle that's coming at that agent. Now, the driver, Renee Good, did turn the wheel to the right, so it appears that she wasn't, coming head on at that agent, trying to mow him over. But nevertheless,
what's up, H-Bust?
Split-second, decision with how to make that calculation. Am I in danger?
What's up, Carlos? Lala.
agents are also taught, what are other options? Could you move out of the way? And that's why this has been such a contentious issue here, the judgment, the decision of that agent to actually open fire. We've heard, obviously people supporting that decision, others being quite critical. One other thing I want to note is that when agents undergo training, and not just the feds, but law enforcement across the country, it is a cardinal rule that you are responsible for.
See, you saying, this is the thing. You're saying if you're not a federal agent in the middle of doing your job, okay, I never said he wasn't a federal agent in the middle of doing his job. Let the courts decide that. Let the fucking courts decide that if he was justified or not, if he was in the line of work, or if his ass shouldn't have walked in front of the car, or if he should have walked in front of the car, if she used it as a weapon, if she used it as a 3-point turn, an investigation. That's it. I'm not saying he wasn't a federal agent. I'm not saying he wasn't at work. What are you talking about, man?
Every you fire, and one key component of that is, to the extent that you have the time and you must be aware of what is beyond your shot, what is in the background. Here, it appears from that video that this other woman who had been engaging in with the agent was quite clearly in the line of fire, but there were also other people that were standing behind that car on the sidewalk, and this is a residential area. And so I'm sure that will face some scrutiny as well. The officer opening fire at that moment, directly, it appears towards those other people beyond the shot. And then his partners, and you brought this up, Brianna, just the other day, his partners are there in close range as well. And so this will be heavily scrutinized from a tactical perspective as well about the officer opening fire. But again, just critical new video here that we're seeing, an important angle, what the officer would have been seeing in the moment.
Yeah, the other officers from the other vantage point having a pronounced sort of physical reaction as the shooting happens as well. It's a tense situation between protesters and federal agents that we have been watching unfold as we speak. Local and state officials at this moment demanding the federal government allow them to have a role in the investigation. Let's head straight to Hennepin County, Minnesota, right outside of Minneapolis, where our Whitney Wild is outside of the federal building where ICE stages. Whitney, just set the scene for us. Last we spoke with you, we saw that there appeared to be some new concrete stanchions that were being put up, but now there appear to be some more protesters arriving.
John Doe, when people say just to point something, this is not the first time the officer got hit by a car doing his job. That doesn't move me any kind of way. I'm just gonna be honest. Maybe that means you shouldn't have been back out there so soon. If you were that damn jittery or something, maybe because I know vengeful people, and I know that human nature is very vengeful. So people say, oh, some shit like that happened, I know what I'm gonna do next time. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it was a little too early, man. When people say he just got dragged by a car last month, man, maybe he should have been, chilled out a little bit for a minute, man. I don't know.
Sorry, we're getting a pepper spray now. So forgive me, I have to pull my shirt up to talk to you, if you guys can still hear me. So here's what just happened. There are a handful of people here who are, you hear that song, Ice Ice Baby. They're playing that. They're saying we love ice, and they're getting in the mix with the crowd. And this is someone who seems here intent on agitating these protesters, saying that he loves ice and he's getting in the mix, again, with a couple of other folks here. So here's what you're seeing. This federal law enforcement moving out, pushing the crowd back. They've let off dozens at this point of pepper balls to try to move the crowd back. They've gone pepper balls we've seen go as far in as the parking lot here across the street. This came just minutes after they put down those new concrete pylons so that no one would be able to drive or even really walk.
Y'all know something that plays rent-free in my head. Y'all remember in Portland when that pastor was out there preaching and they shot him in the head with that pepper ball real hard? I don't know why, but every time I think of like a ICE or an Antifa protest, that just lives rent free in my head. Like they really shot that man on the top of the head with that pepper ball from on top of the building, man. What's up, XX?
Here at the federal building or in St. Paul. So this is the type of thing we're seeing throughout the day where protesters are clashing with federal law enforcement. federal law enforcement has a low bar for anything that they think is about to get out of control. So when they started to see this clash between protesters and this lone sort of anti-protester, they intervened and began to push the crowd back. And now you're not seeing it right at this moment, but minutes ago we saw them detonate pepper balls at the crowd here. Back to you guys.
And so, Earl, explain to us, this has been a bit of a change over the course of the day, and you've been there throughout the day, Whitney. So take us through kind of what you've seen, because there have been moments where things have been calm, and there have been moments where they have been tense.
Right, absolutely. So that's absolutely right. This picked up again when there was that anti-protester here, again, someone who says that he's pro-ICE. And so, like you're saying, throughout the day, it sort of ebbs and flows. This is a bigger crowd than we've seen so far. Earlier today, we saw a couple of people who were detained after one woman slapped the side of the law enforcement vehicle. We really see the agitation pick up when they start to get close to law enforcement, or they feel like law enforcement's pushing them back. And but it has been pretty.
All right, chat, we're gonna move on from that one. You said no wonder y'all are crazy. Look at the news station you're watching. Hey, we watch all this shit, man. Whoever got the damn exclusive, man. Hold my nuts, man. Swipe up on the live. Double tap the screen, shut the live out, chat. We are 25 subscribers away from the next sub goal. We go live every single day over here talking politics, current events, and entertainment. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. Tell a friend to tell a friend. All right, this is Oh, they said CBS posted this. CBS recorded this yesterday, but they didn't post it on their they didn't run it on air. They only put it on their YouTube channel. So CBS did this interview I believe on yesterday, and they just never ran it. They never aired it. I wonder why they didn't air it.
As cops were.
Carlos, I thought they didn't kill them two people yesterday. I thought that the people in where was that at? In Oregon. Yeah, we seen the Oregon mayor up there. I thought they just got wounded. They said the one guy, at first they were saying they were Trinidad Aragua. Now they're saying suspected Trinidad Aragua. And they said one girl was part of a prostitution ring and was involved in a shooting, and the other guy was just illegal. Suspected Trinidad Aragua.
We're responsible for every single round that leaves our weapon.
Eric Vallier is a 25-year career federal agent who most recently oversaw use of force investigations for Homeland Security Investigations, or HSI. We asked him what to make of the tactics used by federal agents in the fatal Minnesota shooting.
In my 25 years, I've done hundreds of vehicle stops. If someone is fleeing, that is not a justification for the use of deadly force.
In this moment, the officer crosses in front of the vehicle. He opens fire on the driver, 37-year-old Renee Good. The government says the officer shot the driver in self-defense.
She then proceeded to weaponize her vehicle, and she attempted to run a law enforcement officer over.
But the footage tells a different story. In this clip, we see Good waving cars by, and one car drives past her stopped vehicle.
Like they're somewhat impeding the ICE guys, although you did see the SUV drive around them.
Next, officers exit the car and approach Good's vehicle.
Right out of the gate, it's escalatory in nature. And then the agent with the black mask reaches for the driver's side door handle to try to open it. From the video, like, the reverse lights are on.
From this other video angle, we can see that the officer has already crossed in front of the car. He's holding a cell phone.
They are trying to essentially take some sort of recording or photograph of the driver to show or identify her as a antagonist to their enforcement operations. What he does is cross in front of and stay in front of a running vehicle. You should not be intentionally putting yourself in front of a vehicle unless absolutely necessary. And with a cell phone in his left hand, he draws his pistol with his right hand, and in very quick succession rattles off 3 rounds.
Under the Department of Homeland Security's use of force policy, firearms may not be discharged solely to disable a moving vehicle, and shooting at a moving vehicle is tightly restricted.
So my training was that you cannot deadly or lethal force solely to stop a fleeing vehicle. Do you have another option other than pulling the trigger?
The Trump administration maintains the agent opened fire to avoid being run over, but the direction of the tires appears to be facing away from the officer to the right. There is still a dispute as to whether the officer was grazed or struck by the Honda. He continues to fire even after moving out of the way of the vehicle.
If she is intentionally trying to hit that agent or officer, tires are pointed in the opposite direction, and the vehicle's trajectory after the shots would be continuing to the left.
After 3 shots, the car veers away.
Oh my God!
According to Ballier, both the officer's gunfire and the car accelerating could have put agents and the surrounding crowd of bystanders in danger.
All right, chat, we're going to do a live poll right now. Was that shooting justified or unjust? Just or unjust right now in the chat. Let me know how you guys feel about it. Just or unjust. Double tap the screen, shut a live out. We are 25 subscribers away from the next sub goal. We go live every single day over here talking politics, current events, and entertainment. We're going to get into Trump's interview today. They said Trump said that he wants to get Greenland the easy way, but if it's not the easy way, it will be the hard way. So in response to Trump saying that he will be willing to take Greenland by force, France is talking about leaving NATO. They have filed some formal paperwork, and it's looking like France will be leaving NATO, maybe. Also, we seen Italy's leader come out and speak about she doesn't know what direction that she's going to take her country. I told you guys this a couple of days ago that I think NATO's done. I think we're going to leave NATO. I think we're going to withdraw from all of that. Now to see France getting ready to withdraw is actually crazy to me. I was trying to see if the audio got better. Like, what's up with this audio, Trump?
152 planes going every which way, and very rapid speeds and helicopters, and to come out with no deaths and the loss of no equipment. This is pretty amazing. Nobody's seen anything like it. I was told by the leaders of numerous countries that
what the hell is going on, man?
thousands of soldiers,
there you go.
Others, and to come in with 152 planes going every which way.
Yeah, I don't know what they had going on. Here we go, chat.
And very rapid speeds and helicopters, and to come out with no deaths and the loss of no equipment. It was pretty amazing. Nobody's seen anything like it. I was called.
Oh, you damn right I got the poly market tickers going. You damn right I got the poly market ticker going.
The leaders of numerous countries, I won't go into which ones, but the biggest and the strongest, and they said that was very impressive. They were all impressed. But today I'm delighted to welcome almost 24 of the biggest and most respected oil and gas executives in the world to the White House. It's an honor to be with them. We have many others that were not able to get in. I said if we had a ballroom, we'd have over 1,000 people. Everybody wanted. I never knew your industry was that big. I never knew you had that many people in your industry. But here we are. And if you, in fact, if you look, come to think of it, well, I got to look at this place up. Wow. What a view. This is the door to the ballroom. Unusual time to look, but I figure we might as well. If the fake news would like to go back and take a look, you can, but you see a very big foundation that's moving. We're ahead of schedule in the ballroom and under budget. It's going to be, I don't think there'll be anything like it in the world, actually. I think it's going to be the best we want.
So, allegedly, there are leaked reports that Trump's planning on knocking down the West Wing, too. Allegedly. There are reports coming out that Trump is talking about knocking down the West Wing as well.
As you know, our biggest room, which would seat 100 for dinner, maybe, if you're lucky. If you're nice and tight. And the ballroom will seat many. And it'll also take care of the inauguration with bulletproof glass, drone-proof ceilings, and everything else, unfortunately, that today you need. So we're going to discuss how these great American companies can help rapidly rebuild Venezuela's
Thank you, Christian.
industry and bring millions of barrels of oil production to benefit the United States, the people of Venezuela, and the entire world. And yesterday, the number is 30 million barrels. I can't even, is that a correct number? 30 million barrels. You hear that, Peter? Of oil was given to us by Venezuela. That's a lot of oil. It's about $4 billion worth, and it's on its way to the United States right now. And we want to thank Venezuela for that. And we're working very well with them, obviously, or they wouldn't have been so generous. But they respect us. Again, they didn't respect us at all before. So that's money that goes to the United States. Some will go to Venezuela. And some will go to the oil companies, but not that, because that's already been extracted. So you're not getting any of that. But when you start extracting, you'll get. But it's tremendous reserves, among the biggest in the world. Some people say it is the biggest in the world. And we're going to be working with Venezuela. We're going to be making the decision as to which oil companies are going to go in, that we're going to allow to go in. We're going to cut a deal with the companies. We'll probably do that today or very shortly thereafter with Chris and Doug. And we're dealing with the country, so we're empowered to make that deal. And you have total safety, total security. One of the reasons you couldn't go in is you had no guarantees, you had no security, but now you have total security. It's a whole different Venezuela, and Venezuela is going to be very successful. And the people of the United States are going to be big beneficiaries because we're going to be extracting, numbers of, in terms of oil, like few people have ever seen, actually. So you're dealing with us directly. You're not dealing with Venezuela at all. We don't want.
Tom Foley, when it comes to this situation right here, there's no going back. I watched a video earlier. I guess one of the security guys came out from when they captured Maduro, and they said it was some shit like they never seen. They said they didn't hear anybody coming. They didn't see anybody coming. They said the drones came through. They said 20 men killed about 200 people, allegedly. That's what, on Maduro's side, is what they're alleging. They said about 20 men came in there and wiped out about 200 people. 20 men and some drones. Wiped out about 200 people. He said they didn't see him coming. They didn't hear him coming. They didn't know what hit him, man.
I want you to deal with Venezuela. Let me thank Vice President J.D. Vance, who's doing a fantastic job. Secretary of State Marco Rubio, likewise, a fantastic job. I have good people.
And so that's what I was saying, man. Trump kidnapped Maduro, used him for some damn held him for ransom. If we want to keep it all the way honest, man, Trump kidnapped Maduro, and right now he's being held for ransom, man. If we want to be honest, we got 30 million off of Maduro's back right now, man. And we got Chevron, Exxon Mobil, and all of these companies over here, man, getting in where they fit in, man. Maduro ass got kidnapped, and it's looking like he's being held for ransom. If we just gonna break it down into, the simplest form, if we want to be honest, man. If we want to be honest, it sounds like we hit a lick. Trump is saying there are reports coming out that Trump's going to control this money outside of the Treasury and offshore accounts. If that's not hitting a lick, I don't know what is, man. I don't know, at 30 million barrels of oil lick, man. I don't know of anybody who's hit a lick bigger than it. Probably some crypto scammer. Man, the only person that's probably hit a lick bigger than this one Trump just hit, man, is probably some crypto scammers. I seen they caught that guy that's accused of stealing 75 billion or something like that in crypto, allegedly a hacker. They say China just walked him in. They finna execute him. He just got picked up and extradited to China, and he's awaiting execution.
I like him better than my first group. But we had a great, despite that, we had a great first step.
You said ransom. Do I think they're going to let him go? Yeah. Honestly, I do think that. I thought at first Maduro, I don't know. I'm torn. If Maduro, this is what it is. If Maduro goes to Florence, if he goes to Florence and they put him in the feds in the Rockies, the Alcatraz of the Rockies. If he goes to the Supermax, he's done. If they don't send Maduro to the Supermax, he got a fucking chance. I'm going to be all the way honest. If they send him to the Supermax, he's done. He's not going to get out. But a lot of people are asking, why is he not at Guantanamo? A lot of people are asking, why the hell is Maduro not at Guantanamo, which he was indicted in the Southern District of New York. So, of course, he has to go there. He'll probably be with 6ix9ine is there right now. Not Sam Altman, damn, my bad. Sam Bankman-Fried. SBF is there, I believe. Diddy was there, and Maduro is there. Oh my gosh, they're messing up the live chat. Y'all double tap the screen, shut the live out. I'm gonna reset this live right quick. Let me reset it. Shut the live out right quick.
Fantastic job. Secretary of State Marco Rubio, likewise a fantastic job. I have good people. I like them better than my first group. But despite that, we had a great first term. We had some great people there too, by the way. But we had a great first term. We had the greatest economy in the history of our country in the first term, but this is blowing it away. And you haven't seen anything yet. Everyone's been shocked by the numbers, 5.4% GDP. And that's despite the fact that we were badly hurt by the Democrat shutdown, of which they'd like to see if they could shut it down again. Secretary of the Interior, Doug Burgum, was fantastic. Secretary of Energy, Chris Wright, recommended by Doug as being the greatest oil man anywhere in the world, because I wanted Doug for that job, energy, and Doug said, no sir, there's a man named Chris Wright. I said, who the hell is Chris Wright? He said he's the most talented oil man anywhere in the world. I doubt you can get him, because typically oil men make a lot of money, and women. They make a lot of money, but Chris came. You took one of the greatest salary cuts probably in history, Chris, right? But he's a fantastic person, loves our country, and many other important members of this team. And I want to thank them for their efforts. As you know, last week the United States Armed Forces performed one of the most spectacular military operations.
You said reset again. What I need to reset again for? It's not playing right. Chat, press 1 if I'm back, man. You said reset again for what? Double tap the screen, shut a live out, chat. Get us back in the algorithm, man. Double tap the screen, shut a live out, man.
In American history, apprehending the outlaw dictator Nicolas Maduro for his crimes against the United States, crimes for which he has now been indicted and is in federal court awaiting trial. And he killed many people, millions of people, actually, and allowed jails, prisons, mental institutions, insane asylums, drug dealers, drug addicts to pour into our country totally unchecked because of Sleepy Joe Biden's policy of open borders, the stupidest thing I've ever seen. We're getting them all out. The departure of Maduro makes it possible an incredible future for both nations, Venezuela and the United States, which we will more closely integrate the economies of two major energy powers in the Western Hemisphere. Energy coming out of Venezuela was very small. One of the things the United States gets out of this will be even lower energy prices. We have people now getting gasoline for $1.99, $1.96, $1.95.
What's up, Darkin?
$1.92 yesterday, somebody. And it used to be $3.50, $4, $5 a gallon. Think of that, $1.99. Decades ago, the United States built Venezuela's oil industry at tremendous expense with American skill, technology, know-how, and dollars. But those assets were stolen from us, and we had presidents who did nothing about it. This president is much different than your other presidents. They did nothing about it. They stole it. Some of the people in this room were a little bit younger when that happened, but not that much younger. It wasn't that long ago. But they stole our assets like...
No, Mark, gas is not $3 everywhere. Chat, put how much gas is where you are, not the high gas, not the 93 octane. When we talking about regular ass gas, how much is gas where you guys are? Mark said it's not it's $3 everywhere. Mark, I've been getting $2 gas for a long time. I don't remember the last time I paid $3 for some gas, Mark. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I've been getting $2 gas for a little minute.
Poor babies, and the United States did absolutely nothing about it. So
Not $2, but two something, like between two. I've been getting gas between about $2.10 and $2.50 for probably the last 6 months. I'm just gonna be honest. Between when it goes over $2.50, I notice. I'm like, damn, gas over $2.50. But in between those, I really,
on everything about it. Now we're doing 500% about it, but it's a long time after the act took place. So they stole from us, and it was taken by socialists and communists at the time, and Venezuela was going bad, really bad. And as much oil as they have, they're producing almost nothing, which is just a system. So we're really, if you look at it, we're taking back what was taken from us. They took our oil industry. We built that entire oil industry. Started a long time ago, but they took it, and they were very ungracious to this country, but now they're being very nice. American companies will have the opportunity to rebuild Venezuela's rotting energy infrastructure and eventually increase oil production to levels never, ever seen before. When you add Venezuela and the United States together, we have 55% of the oil in the world. The United States is number one. We have them drilling. Drill, baby, drill was my campaign, and Doug and Chris, I think we're setting records of drilling right now, taking oil without Venezuela. That's how we...
he said drilling right now, taking oil without Venezuela, though. I'm just going to be all the way honest with you, man. Trump, man, said he was going to come in and drill, baby, drill. I told y'all last week, man, that's what Venezuela is. That's what they drilling, baby, drilling right now. I know they said something about trying to cut those regulations so they can start drilling out there off the coast as well.
We're getting the oil prices down. The plan is for them to spend, meaning our giant oil dump.
You said, what did we make? We didn't make a damn thing. I told y'all who hit that lick, man. Did I not just tell y'all who hit that lick, man? We just watched this shit live in action, man. I didn't hit that lick, man. We not getting a damn thing. Not a damn thing, man. That lick is going outside of the U.S. Treasury into some offshore accounts, man.
We'll be spending at least $100 billion of their money, not the government's money. They don't need government money. But they need government protection and they need government security that when they spend all this money, it's going to be there so they get their money back and make a very nice return.
Okay, so Trump's trying to kill all the rumors right there, so we have to address that. So reports have been coming out that the taxpayers were going to be paying for their infrastructure down there because the oil companies didn't want the risk. So now Trump is saying that that's not the case. Trump is saying that the oil companies are going to pay for the infrastructure, and we're just, the taxpayers, I guess, are just going to be providing the security through, them having security.
The plan is for them to spend at least $100 million to rebuild the capacity and the infrastructure necessary. Venezuela has also agreed that the United States will immediately begin refining and selling up to 50 million barrels of Venezuelan crude oil, which will continue indefinitely. We're all set to do it. The refining capacity was actually based very much on the Venezuelan oil, which is a heavy oil, very good oil, great oil. It's fantastic for them.
You said you don't like my take. You don't have to. I'm not here to please anybody. I'm just here to give my thoughts, my opinions, report the news, tell y'all where I think things are going. I'm not here, to have you like my take. That's why I say a lot of shit that piss people off too. A lot of people hate my takes. A lot of people love them. Hold on, let me do the Trump. A lot of people, they hate my takes. A lot of people, they love them.
Things like asphalt roads, best there is in the world for asphalt roads and other things. All of the companies here today are going to be treasured partners in bringing the nation of Venezuela back to life, restoring its economy, and generating great wealth for their companies and for their people, and also great wealth for the American people, and tremendous wealth for the companies that are going in. The companies that are going in, and if you don't want to go in, just let me know, because I got 25 people that aren't here today that are willing to take your place. So I just want to thank, these are people that I either know or know of by reading lots of business magazines and journals and papers. And these are the greatest oil people anywhere in the world. Harold Hamm, I see, is here. Harold, you know, there's a story about Harold Hamm that he can look at a piece of land, put a straw into the land, and oil pours out. Is that true about you? Whereas some of you guys have to invest hundreds of millions of dollars to find that oil, so we can't let that story be true. But they say Harold puts a straw into the land, and oil comes gushing out. So you're not a big R&D person, are you? Huh? He's called instinct for oil. Now he's got other problems.
You said Trump is not a politician, he's a businessman. Trump's a politician now. Not saying he's not a businessman, because he owns businesses, you know. So he's a businessman, but 10 years in the game, this is 10 years. If you count the campaigning, the presidency, the 4 years off, still being referred to as president, Trump's 10 years in. Trump's 10 years in to being a politician. Let's just be honest, man. They say 10,000 hours you become an expert, man.
But we won't talk about those problems. But he's been a great supporter of mine for a long time, haven't you, Harold? So congratulations. But we have, and I think Harold would agree, we have the greatest oil men and women anywhere in the world sitting in this room right now. And we have a lot of people that will be back to see us sometime next week. We're going to have another meeting for another group. But we're going to do this very quickly. We can have this done almost immediately. So I'd like to thank you all for being here. I'd like to invite Vice President Vance to say a few words, followed by Secretaries Rubio, Burgum, and Wright. And then we'll have a few words from representatives that are here to discuss their ideas, a couple of them. We have Chevron, which has been, where's Chevron?
Thank you, Sid, for the gifted membership, Sid.
Oh, I thought you'd have a better location. You were the only one that was there for it.
Thank you, Sid, for the gifted membership. You said what's going to happen with the 5.2 billion in gold reserves in Switzerland? I don't know. Is that the 5.2 billion from America or Venezuela? I heard something about 1,200 tons of silver being shipped off, but I didn't hear anything about any gold from Venezuela.
For all that, I used to call you and say, what the hell is going on with Venezuela? He stuck it out. I don't know if you made money or not, but you stuck it out. I got to give you a lot of credit for that. Mark Nelson, thank you very much. Exxon CEO Darren Woods. Darren, thank you very much. How's Exxon doing? Okay. They'll do a lot better now, won't they? Huh? Exxon's been amazing. It's been an amazing company. And ConocoPhillips CEO Ryan Lance, thank you very much. So you guys could say something, and then we'll take some questions from the press. And if anybody else would like to speak, we'll have you speak. We have all the time in the world. This is a big subject. This is massive wealth, and more importantly than massive wealth, it leads to lower taxes.
Oh yeah, Chad, we are 7, 8, 9, 10. We're about 10 days away from Bill Clinton testifying on the Epstein files. We're about 10 days away from Bill Clinton having to testify about the Epstein files.
Taxes and a lot of jobs for Americans and for Venezuelans, but for Americans in this case. And I just again appreciate you all being here, and I'd like to ask JD to say a few words, please. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thanks to everybody for being here. You know, as a Marine Corps veteran for my entire lifetime, presidents, and let's be honest, they were Democrats and Republicans, would send the American military to far-off places. They would get us involved in these endless quagmires. They would lose hundreds or thousands of American lives, and the American people would get nothing out of these misadventures. And now you have an American president who's empowered the American military to stop the flow of drugs into our country and to ensure that we, as opposed to our adversaries, control one of the great energy reserves that exists anywhere in the entire world. And he did it with without losing a single American life in the process. It was an amazing operation. It's going to make our country richer. It's going to make our country more powerful. It's going to make our country safer, and it's going to lead to the further decline of drug overdose deaths in the United States of America. An amazing thing, and I'm happy to be here to talk about how we can make it an even bigger and better operation for the American people. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Marco?
Thank you, Mr. President. I think this is a reminder that everything President Trump does is with the American people in mind. It was not in the national interest or national security of the United States and of our people to have in our own hemisphere a country not just with vast energy reserves, but controlled by an indicted narco-trafficker who flooded our country with illegal immigration, including drug gang members, openly cooperated with drug gangs, and by the way, stole the wealth of our country to fund a repressive regime and also benefit adversaries such as Iran. All of that is now changing. As part of this process, the first phase, of course, is the phase we're in now, which is the stabilization phase. We do not want to see destabilization in the country. We're working very cooperatively with the interim authorities there to provide a market for the sale of the wealth of Venezuela in such a way that benefits the people, both of the United States, but also the people of Venezuela. And as a reminder to everyone, the President announced this just 2 days ago, every penny, everything they buy with the money that they're making from the oil now, Mr. President, will be bought from America. And that includes everything from equipment for the oil industry to food to medicines and everything in between. The second will be a phase of recovery, and some of these phases will overlap, and that is to have a normal economy again where the money goes to...
Everything they buy will be from America. That goes to the equipment, the rebuilding, the food, the medicine, the every fucking thing. Crazy.
The benefit of people, not the benefit of our adversaries or the benefit of elements in that country and around the world that are against our interests. At the same time as a process of reconciliation has to happen internally among the different sectors of society, politics, and the like. And finally, the third phase, which is the most important of the three, is when the country fully transitions into a normal country that we have strong economic and diplomatic and relations with, that is friendly towards the United States, that's not a foothold for our adversaries, that serves our interests, but also the interests of the people. It'll be a country that is wealthy, a country that is prosperous for the people, not for a handful of criminals, but also a country that is supportive of our interests in the region and throughout the world. And we thank you, Mr. President, and the team you've assembled that brought us to this point. A lot of work remains, important work.
I believe Tuesday, the new Venezuelan interim president is supposed to come over here to meet with Trump. I believe Tuesday she's supposed to come over here and meet with Trump and some other oil companies.
Thank you very much.
All right, me 85.
Well, Mr. President, I want to thank you for your leadership, not just as President, but as Commander-in-Chief. The boldness, the execution, the breathtakingly precise work that you've delivered both in Iran back in June and here has changed the field for the whole world. And you always ran about the idea of peace and prosperity. And in Venezuela, as you know, this was a playground for every bad actor in the world. We had Russians, Iran, terror groups, all of them profiting from this criminal organization that was pretending to run the country. That makes America safer. You've secured the border, we're stopping the flow of drugs, and now with the normalization of relationships on an economic basis, it's going to mean tremendously for the prosperity of the American people. So I just want to say again, congratulations to you and to the entire leadership team. It's been an amazing, historic week on the scale of things that we haven't seen perhaps for 125 years in terms of the U.S. Exerting its influence over Latin America in a way that's going to make a change for generations. And on behalf of all the...
Hey, look, chat. I'm going to be honest with you. We're 9 subscribers away from the next sub goal, man. I need the next 9 people to hit the subscribe button and let me know you subscribed, and I'll give you a personalized shout out, man. We are 9 subscribers away from the next sub goal. Let's get it. Let's go, chat.
Oil executives that are here today, Chris and I want to say thank you to all of you. It's your technology, your innovation that has put America in a place where today we are the most energy-dominant country in the world, and that position is what's allowed us to take the action that we're taking with statecraft, with military action.
Yeah. Yep. They were talking about China was coming for us for energy dominance by 2030, and It's looking like we're going to control Venezuela to the at least about 2030, and possibly beyond.
Action. None of that would happen if we were dependent on everybody else for energy. So you're a big part of the reason that we're able to move the way we are today, and we're grateful.
Thank you, Mouse Cop. Thank you, Matt. Shout out, Matt. Shout out, Mouse Cop.
Everybody appreciates it. They know.
Shout out, Dirty Cajun, for the subscription.
Thank you, Mr. President. Yeah, what we've seen in the last week is leadership matters and credibility matters. Venezuelan oil has been sanctioned for many years, and the oil just flew, those sanctions were not enforced. That oil just floated out to be trafficked by bad actors of the world.
Sid, you said plug. Why does Trump love praise? Most men do. Most men do, Sid, just being all the way honest.
The resources weren't gone to a central place. The corruption and decline of Venezuela has been a crisis for the people of Venezuela. And as Secretary Rubio said, massive spillover effects in the United States. In crime, in drugs, in kidnappings, and in taking a huge resource base and making it not exploited, not developed. The whole world is a poorer, less opportunity-rich place because of that. When you have materials underground, they've been underground for 1 million years. That does not make them a resource. That does not make them valuable for your country, your people, or the world. They only become a resource with technology, with capital, with rule of law, and a system of governance that encourages the...
Nah, we can't say men hate praise. Everybody loves a good introduction, man. When you're around and somebody's introducing you, man, everybody likes a good introduction, man. That's why people have accomplishments, man. That's why a lot of people get degrees. A lot of people like you spent a lot of time and effort to get these accomplishments, man. So sometimes people like it to be recognized. Now, Trump just happens to be president of the free world, man. I mean, he's gonna get a lot of people kissing his ass. He's got pardons coming. He just went kidnap fucking Maduro, held him for ransom, man. About 30 billion barrels of oil gonna control Venezuela for a while. Told Greenland, your ass on the clock. Yeah, man, he's probably gonna get a lot of praise, man.
The harvesting of those resources to make the better world. And we see here the dramatic contrast between the United States, which may have less oil underground than Venezuela. We have 20 times the production of Venezuela, 20 times the impact of human betterment, massively better quality of living here in the United States. That was at risk under the last administration. We've seen a lot of attacks on the energy that makes the world go round. President Trump's election has removed those risks, has embraced.
See, this is the thing. If we're gonna talk about it, we gotta be all the way honest. You said, plug, would you want people praising you like this? Yes, Sid, especially if I dealt with that much hate. Honestly, man. That man is probably, as much praise as he gets, Trump is probably one of the most hated people. Just honestly. He probably gets more hate than damn near anybody, man. Let's be honest. Him and Elon too. Elon get a lot of hate too. Let's think. Who do y'all think gets more hate than Trump? Y'all, let's give me some names out there. Who gets more hate than Trump? While we're talking about the praise, which, okay, you saying he getting praised a lot, but let's talk about the hate. Who gets more hate than Trump? I can't name anybody, man. I can't make Kanye, maybe. I mean, I don't fucking know.
Reality about how the world is energized, and we are record production of oil in the United States, record production in natural gas in the United States.
Okay, y'all got it with Netanyahu. Netanyahu might get as much hate as Trump. Putin, maybe. But that's a small list. That's a very short list, man. It's a very short list of people you can even say come close to getting the amount of hate as Trump. Jake Paul not getting nowhere near the amount of hate as Trump. Not that many people. Jake Paul is known way more known than I fucking am. But when we're talking about Trump, Netanyahu, and Putin and shit, man, these people don't know Jake Paul like they know them folks, man.
Meaningful decline in gasoline prices, diesel prices, travel prices because of jet fuel. And now President Trump is taking the genius of a different way to try to solve a 25-year festering problem in Venezuela. And all the traditional things have not worked. But ordering both a tremendous military operation to remove the heads of a criminal organization masquerading as a government, and then to use the power of our military, not to fire bullets, but to stop the flow of Venezuelan oil to the world, immediately gave us leverage over the interim authorities in Venezuela and has allowed us to be in this position today where the actions of this government can massively improve Venezuela for the better, and the bigger impact is to massively improve the quality of life, affordability.
You said the kicker who missed the field goal at the Super Bowl gets more hate. No, he doesn't, man. Listen, that shit comes and goes, man. Trump got some shit going on every day. Trump's been getting hate since he said he ran all them campaign ads against the Central Park kids, man. Trump's been getting hate a long ass time, man. I'm talking about daily hate, rejuvenated hate, fresh hate, new hate. Thank you, Sid, for the 5 gifted memberships. Y'all get Sid some flames on those 5 gifted memberships. Thank you, Sid, for your continued support, man. Yeah, Netanyahu's a hated figure right now as well. Like now, this is kind of a little more recent that they've been hating on him. Like they've been hating Trump for a long ass time, bro. Like, damn. They don't like Obama either, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Obama's up there too, man. Motherfuckers hate Obama too, man. I'm not gonna lie.
Safety and security.
See, like Kamala gets a lot of hate, but it's just different. It's a different type of hate, bro. Like you don't hear anybody saying like hating Kamala so bad that they don't want her to be here anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like I haven't heard somebody hate Kamala so much that they want her not here anymore, bro. Like it's a different type of hate.
Of the United States, very proud to be here, and we'll turn it over to Mark Nelson, who's the vice chairman of Chevron. Chevron has been in Venezuela for over 100 years, continuously. Mike Work, the CEO, had
Rubio, I ain't gonna lie, man. I don't know, bro. I don't know, man. I'm not sold on Rubio yet. You know, maybe I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I need to watch Rubio a little more, see what he does. But I'm not quite sold on Rubio, man. I don't know. I don't know what it is about Rubio, man. It's something about Rubio.
replacement recently. He's not here. Mark is a tremendous leader in our industry, and I'll turn it over to him.
Thank you, Secretary Wright. Again, I'll send Mike Works regrets. He really wanted to be here, Mr. President. So on his behalf, I have 3 very quick thank yous and an assurance I'd like to provide to you all. The first thank you, Mr. President, is to you. It's thank you for convening this gathering. It's thank you for your leadership, and thank you for continuing to keep American energy domination in the forefront. So thank you for that.
Thank you very much.
The second thank you actually is to the cabinet. So Secretary Rubio, Secretary Berger, Secretary Wright, your ability and commitment to continue to engage with the parties around the table to keep the world working, greatly appreciated. So
I'm not doubting Rubio's ability. I just don't know, man. Rubio, man, I don't know, man. I don't know. I got to do a little bit more research, man. I got to look. Rubio look like he's the slick, sly guy, man. Rubio look like he might have a little something up his sleeve, man.
Thank you for that. And the final thank you actually go to our Venezuelan employees.
Thank you, Big Niche.
They have been working tirelessly to operate safely, protect the environment in country, and their dedication and skill will help us in this next chapter. And finally, I'll close with the assurance. For more than a century, Chevron has been a part of Venezuela's past. We are certainly committed to its present, and we very much look forward as a proud American company to help it build a better future. So, Mr. President, thank
safety risk and other risks. But you stuck it out. I give you credit for that. Sometimes it was hard. I remember 6 months ago I told you to stay. Did I settle? Because I thought this get that back. Oh, I did make a deal to get it.
Of Venezuela, do you see Venezuela now led by Delcy Rodriguez as an ally of the U.S.? Is that the way that you view that country?
Well, right now they seem to be an ally, and I think it'll continue to be an ally. And we don't want to have Russia there. We don't want to have China there. And by the way, we don't want Russia or China going to Greenland. Which, if we don't take Greenland, you're going to have Russia or China as your next door neighbor. That's not going to happen. White Top.
Thank you. You just said that these companies would have security guarantees if they go in on the ground in Venezuela.
They will have.
And what is your plan there actually for these companies and those Americans who are going to be on the ground working for these companies?
Well, there are going to be Americans. I assume they're going to be using a lot of Americans, but they're going to be using a lot of people from Venezuela and other places, I would imagine. But I would think that mostly they'll be using Venezuelan workers. They have a lot of great workers. They have a very high unemployment rate, and they have workers that are very familiar with taking oil out of the ground. Yeah.
How long do you think that?
I.e., we not paying y'all ass, man. You think we finna pay you an American salary when we can have these Venezuelans down here working for like $16.50 a week, man? Do you think we're actually finna pay you an American salary, man? We won't even give your ass the federal minimum wage of $7.25, man. These folks is out here pulling every drop of oil out of the damn ground for $16.50 a week, man. You think we finna? You see how he looked at the oil tycoons? Like, man, look, it's gonna be mostly Venezuela. We ain't bringing no Americans over here, man. We ain't paying that.
So Iran's in big trouble. It looks to me that the people are taking over certain cities that nobody thought were really possible just a few weeks ago. We're watching the situation very carefully. I've made the statement very strongly.
Thank you, Lala.
Killing people like they have in the past. We will get involved. We'll be hitting them very hard where it hurts. And that doesn't mean boots on the ground, but it means hitting them very, very hard where it hurts. So we don't want that to happen. There have been cases like this where President Obama totally backed it down. But this is something pretty incredible that's happening in Iran. It's an amazing thing to watch. They've done a bad job. They've treated their people very badly, and now they're being paid back. So let's see what happens.
The Supreme Leader is talking crazy about Trump, too. They're alleging the Supreme Leader has put a bounty on Trump as well, which is crazy. I don't know what. I guess, man, it's just bounties going on world leaders and shit is crazy, bro. I'm just gonna be all the way honest with you. But yeah, he said he's coming at Trump, man, saying that Trump is the reason that these people are dying in his streets, man. He's blaming Trump for these people for his what do you call that? His police force, whatever, his force are shooting people in the streets, and he's saying it's Trump's fault.
which killed dozens of civilians and displacing many families. Does your administration bring peace between the Kurds and the Syrian government?
I want to see peace, yes, I do. The Kurds and the Syrian government, we get along with both, as you know, very well. They have been natural enemies over the years, but we get along both, and we want to see Syria succeed. And so far, I think they are succeeding, but this is just breaking it.
Iran's police forces called ICE. Iran's police forces called ICE. Like they're special for whatever they're, the people that are shooting their people. I'm talking about in Iran. I'm not talking about in America.
And we want to see that stopped.
They killed like 217 people. I think it's being reported like 217 individuals have been I know. I think it was like 250 something the last time I looked. Like maybe 257. 257 people have been slaughtered in the streets of Iran. They're taking over the capital city, the second largest city, and the fifth largest city. They're setting all kind of buildings ablaze.
What country? Colombia. With the president of Colombia. Yes, I had a very good talk with him yesterday, and he's been very hostile to us.
What's up, Top Cat?
To me, called me a dictator, lots of other things. Called Biden some terrible names, far worse than he called me. But he called yesterday through people, and he wants to meet, and that's fine with me. I've made up with people also, So we're going to have a meeting with him. We had a very good conversation. The people of Colombia are incredible people. Marco would know that better than anybody because he's married to a woman from Colombia, and I don't mean Columbia University. I'm not sure. I think I like Colombia, the country, better. If you want to know the truth, the people are. The people are great people. I look forward to meeting with them. We're going to meet in the very near future.
When you meet the president of Venezuela here in the White House, would you greet her to discuss the fate of people?
Yeah, well, I'm going to meet a lot of people, and we're going to meet. We meet a lot of people. When you end 8 wars, you get to know a lot of people, and I think it's very important. As an example, we have over $18 trillion. Think of it, $18 trillion coming into our country. A lot of that's coming in from foreign countries like Saudi Arabia and Qatar and UAE and others. And I get to meet a lot of people, but I will be meeting with various representatives of Venezuela, probably pretty soon. We haven't set that up. But the relationship that we have with the people that are currently running Venezuela is very good. We also have a young lady that received the Nobel Peace Prize. She's going to come in and pay her regards to our country, really, to me, but I'm a representative of the country, nothing else. And she's coming in sometime next week, I think Tuesday or Wednesday, and we'll see how that is. But no, we're dealing with the people from Venezuela. We're dealing with it very well. I think they've been very smart in the way they've dealt with us, frankly, because that whole place could have been obliterated with one more strike, and we didn't want to do that.
Thank you so much. I have a question for you on Minneapolis, but on Venezuela and your meeting with Machado next week. If she gives you her Nobel Peace Prize, will that change your view about her running that country?
Well, I have to speak to her. I'm going to have to speak to her. She might be involved in some aspect of it. I will have to speak to her. I think it's very nice that she wants to come in, and that's what I understand the reason is, because Norway is very embarrassed by what took place. I mean, they're getting decimated. Look, whether people like Trump or don't like Trump, I settled 8 wars, big ones. Some going on for 36 years, 32 years, 31 years, 28 years, 25 years. Some just getting ready to start, like India and Pakistan, where already 8 jets were shot out of the air. And I got it done in rapid order without nuclear weapons. I can't think of anybody in history that should get the Nobel Prize more than me. And I don't want to be bragging, but nobody else settled wars. Obama got the Nobel Prize. He had no idea why. He still has no idea. He walks around and he says, I got the Nobel Prize. Why did he get a Nobel Prize? He got it almost immediately upon attaining office, and he didn't do anything, and he was a bad president. So, I mean, you should get the Nobel Prize for every war you stopped. These were major wars. These were wars that nobody thought could be stopped. President Putin called me, and he said about 2 of the wars that he's been trying to stop them for 10 years. He wasn't able to do it. He couldn't believe it. So in theory, you should get the Nobel Prize for every war you stopped. Every one of them was major. But I don't care about that. What I care about is saving lives. I've saved tens of millions of lives. You know, the Prime Minister of Pakistan came here, and he made a very public statement. He said that President Trump saved minimum 10 million lives having to do with Pakistan and India, and that was going to be raging. So, but I'm honored that she's coming here. I look forward to meeting her. Yes. Go ahead.
On Minneapolis, I have a follow-up. The
officials. I mean, Minneapolis and Minnesota, what a beautiful place, but it's being destroyed. It's got an incompetent governor, fool. I mean, he's a stupid person. And it looks like the number could be $19 billion stolen from a lot of people, but largely people from Somalia. They buy their vote. They vote in a group. They buy their vote. They sell more Mercedes-Benzes in that area than almost... Can you imagine you come over with no money and then shortly thereafter you're driving a Mercedes-Benz? The whole thing is ridiculous. So they're very corrupt people. It's a very corrupt
Oh,
I
my
feel that I won
God.
Minnesota. I think I won it all 3 times. Nobody's won it since Richard Nixon won it many, many years ago. I won it all 3 times, in my opinion. And it's a corrupt state, a corrupt voting state. And the Republicans ought to get smart and demand on voter ID. They ought to demand maybe same-day voting and all of the other things that you have to have to safe election. But I won Minnesota 3 times and I didn't get credit for it. I did so well in that state every time. The people they were crying every time after. That's a crooked state. California is a crooked state. Many crooked states. We have a very, very dishonest voting system. The last time I won, 24, the one that just took place, I won because it was too big to rig. You couldn't rig it. It was too big. But I won the state of Minnesota. It's a corrupt voting system with an incompetent governor. A very incompetent governor. And by the way, he's a very corrupt governor, too. Go ahead.
I have a question on Iran, but first, very quickly on Venezuela. How do you provide total security guarantees to these companies without putting U.S. boots on the ground?
Well, we're going to work with the Venezuela.
They're saying Trump keeps pushing that narrative about that election, that stolen election, because that's the way they're going to try to secure him his 3rd term. That's the way they're going to try to secure him his 3rd term, is by saying that election was stolen.
Leaders and people, and we're going to have a very safe group, and they're going to also bring over some security with them. You know, these are not babies. These are people that drill oil in some pretty rough places. I could say a couple of those places make Venezuela look like a picnic. These people around the table, these are tough people. They go into areas that you wouldn't want to go. They go into areas that if they invited me, I'd say, no thanks, I'll see you back in Palm Beach. Now, this is a tough group of people. They know how to do it. But we are, in addition to that, we'll have very good security for them. We're going to make sure there's very, very good security. And I think the people of Venezuela are going to give you very good security. You know, the people, now I'm not talking even leadership, the people of Venezuela are going wild over this. They named a street after President Trump. What do? You attack a country and they name a street? That's never happened before. Although I heard that's also taking place in Iran. They named the street. The protesters. I just hope, just God bless them. I just hope the protesters in Iran are going to be safe, because that's a very dangerous place right now. And again, I tell the Iranian leaders, you better not start shooting, because we'll start shooting too. With your glasses, sir, go ahead, please. Hold it. Next to you. Yes, glasses. The gentleman with the glasses.
All right, thank you, Mr. President.
With those very big glasses.
Yeah. Mr. President, I have 2 questions. What do you want the European Union to do in Ukraine? The European leaders are pretty divided on Ukraine. And then if you can reiterate this straight message that you have to the Iranian leader to come in, the message that you have.
You're talking about Iran?
Like Iran, yeah.
What do I want Iran to do?
I'm sorry.
Where are you from?
Italy.
Oh, nice place.
Yeah.
Okay.
The first question.
So what are you asking about Iran for?
Well,
Shit.
About Europe and what do you think the Europeans should do on Ukraine, and then the message.
Well, look, Europe has been doing so much for Ukraine, but it hasn't been enough. And obviously, that I would say that President Putin is not afraid of Europe. He's afraid of the United States of America, as led by me. There's no fear of Europe. Europe's fallen behind, and Europe, and JD said it very strongly, I don't know, took a lot of heat, but I didn't give him any heat. Europe is a different place. Europe is changing. Europe has got to get its act together. I love Europe. I guess I came from Europe, essentially. And my roots are in Europe. But Europe is.
Oh my God, here we go. Now here goes Trump. I came from Europe. I thought you was from New York, man. What the hell is you talking about? I thought you was from New York, bruh. The hell is he talking about, man? Here they go with this eugenics shit.
It's a different place. They have to get their act together. Now they've said they have a great NATO leader, and they've gone up to 5% from 2% GDP. That's a big step. But they have to be very careful with their immigration policy, and they have to be very, because, I will just say, to be nice, that there are certain places in Europe that are very important that are no longer recognizable. I'm being very nice, I'm being very diplomatic when I say that. They are not recognizable, and they have to be careful on energy because they're putting windmills all over the place and losing a fortune. They're destroying their country, they're destroying the beautiful landscapes, the beautiful everything. They're doing, and by the way, in case you people don't know, I'm not much of a windmill person. I can proudly say, Doug, that we have not approved one windmill since I've been in office, and we're going to keep it that way. My goal is to not let any windmill be built. They're losers. They lose money. They destroy your landscape. They kill your birds. They're all made in China. And all you have to do is, just about all of the windmills are made in China, the structures. All you have to do is say to China, how many windmill areas do you have in China? So far, they're not able to find any. They use coal and they use oil and gas and some nuclear, not much. But they don't have windmills. They make them and sell them to suckers like Europe and suckers like the United States.
Shit.
Form of energy, the most expensive form of energy, and in 8 years they're rotted out anyway. Go take a look at Palm Springs, California, and take a look at what that looks like. It looks like a junkyard of steel. So we don't approve, and I've told my people, we will not approve windmills. Maybe do something because some stupid person in the Biden administration agreed to do something years ago. We will not approve any windmills in this country.
On Venezuela, is it ultimately more important to establish stability there or democracy there?
Well, you're talking about maybe the same thing. I mean, you're talking about stability or democracy. I don't know. To me, it's almost the same thing. We want stability, but we do want democracy. Ultimately, it'll be democracy. Peter?
Selling the suckers like Europe in America.
Somebody gave me this. You know what that is? That's called a happy Trump. And considering the fact that I'm never happy, I'm never satisfied, I will never be satisfied until we make America great again, but we're getting pretty close, I'll tell you what. This is called a happy Trump. Somebody gave it to me, I put it on.
How much money are you thinking of giving people in Greenland to get them on board with a possible U.S.
I'm not talking about money for Greenland yet. I might talk about that. But right now, we are going to do something on Greenland, whether they like it or not, because if we don't do it, Russia or China will take over Greenland, and we're not going to have Russia or China as a neighbor. I would like to make a deal, the easy way, but if we don't do it the easy way, we're going to do it the hard way.
I told y'all, the easy way or the hard way, man. For the hard way, man. Trump not bullshitting.
Trump, somebody gave it to me.
I told y'all last week, I don't think Trump's going to make any concessions when it comes to Greenland, man. He's not, that shit's not going nowhere. It's in the Dunroe Doctrine. It's not going anywhere. It's in the Dunroe Doctrine. That's why he can sit there and say, I'd like to do it the easy way, diplomatically, but if it's not the easy way, it's going to be the hard way. That's part of the Dunroe Doctrine. Y'all said I was bullshitting and, he's not going to blah, blah, blah. Man, listen, y'all hear what the fuck he said, man. Now we got friends talking about leaving NATO and some more shit, man. It is what it is. Shit. Oh, I didn't see this part. Chat. Double tap the screen, shut a live out, man. Double tap the screen, shut a live out. We are 25 subscribers away from the next sub goal. I did not see this part, man. We're gonna do something on Greenland, whether they like it or not, bruh. Shit. Oh man, we're gonna have to revisit this in the morning, bruh.
And considering the fact that I'm never happy, I'm never satisfied, I will never be satisfied until we make America great again, but we're getting pretty close, I'll tell you what. This is called a happy Trump. Somebody gave it to me, I'll put it up.
You said, John Centrist, you said people seriously think Trump's gonna annex Greenland? Yes, before it's all bad, before nothing's done there, yes. Trump finna have his way with Greenland. Whether they purchase it, whether he just goes over there and does what the fuck he wants to over there, or whether he annexes it, man. Some shit finna go on over there, man. Some shit finna go on in Greenland and regarding America, for sure. What's up, Chris?
I'm not talking about money for Greenland yet. I might talk about that. But right now, we are going to do something on Greenland, whether they like it or not, because if we don't do it, Russia or China will take over Greenland, and we're not going to have Russia or China as a neighbor. Right? I would like to make a deal.
What's up, Pierce?
But if we don't do it the easy way, we're going to do it the hard way. And by the way, I'm a fan of Denmark too. I have to tell you, and they've been very.
Man, what do you mean you don't see him annexing it, Carlos? Man, Trump on some gangster shit right now, man. Like, man, listen. The unthinkable is fucking happening, man. He just been blowing boats out of the damn water, man. Dropping soldiers down on the oil tankers, taking the tanker and the oil, kidnapped Maduro, held his ass for ransom. And you don't think he would annex Greenland? What the fuck is gonna go on, man, if they just fly those B-52s over there, man, and get some damn boats up there in those waters and say, look, we're here. And we're gonna stay here. Man, Carlos, man, I don't know, bro. I don't think Trump's making any concessions, man, with that done road doctrine shit, bro.
Very nice to me. I'm a big fan, but the fact that they had a boat land there 500 years ago doesn't mean that they own the land. Sure, we had lots of boats go there also, but we need that because if you take a look outside of Greenland right now, there are Russian destroyers, there are Chinese destroyers and bigger. There are Russian submarines all over the place. We're not going to have Russia or China occupy Greenland, and that's what they're going to do if we don't. So we're going to be doing something with Greenland.
That's what I'm saying, Carlos. You're saying NATO intervenes, and then what? It's just going to be some shit. That's what I'm trying to tell you, Carlos. It's just going to be some shit. You saying NATO intervenes like that's going to stop some. France already putting in a formal request looking like they probably finna withdraw from NATO. Like, NATO going to, listen, man, it's just going to be some shit.
Either the nice way or the more difficult.
What do you mean there's no ransom on Maduro? I'm talking in gangster terms, man. If you kidnap somebody and then a couple days afterwards their country's sending you 30 million barrels of oil, man, listen, man, that shit might as well be ransom, man. Held his ass for ransom, kidnapped his ass and got 30 million barrels off his damn back, man. In control of the situation for about 7 to 10 years.
With a nation, look at what happened with Obama with that horrible deal they made with Iran. It was a short-term deal. It was like a 9-year deal. Countries can't make 9-year deals or even 100-year deals. Countries have to have ownership. And you defend ownership, you don't defend leases. And we'll have to defend Greenland. If we don't do it, China or Russia will. It's not going to happen. We are not going to have, and I like China, I like Russia, I love the people of China, I love the people of Russia. I get along very well with President Putin, but I'm very disappointed in him. I get along very well with President Xi. I'm going to go over to China in April, but I don't want them as a neighbor in Greenland. Not going to happen. And by the way, and NATO's got to understand that. I'm all for NATO. I saved NATO. If it weren't for me, you wouldn't have a NATO right now. But we're not going to allow Russia or China to occupy Greenland, and that's what's going to happen if we don't. Go ahead.
On the economic report that came out today, Mr. President, one, can you respond to that? And two,
it was an amazing report. The most amazing thing is government jobs are way down, and yet the unemployment or the employment numbers are very good.
Carlos says their note is they only producing a couple million of usable oil. Man, 30 million barrels of oil is finna be sold, man. What is you talking about, Carlos? You always got some extra shit going, Carlos. We just heard this man get up here and tell us, man, it's 30 million barrels of oil. Then you want to say they only producing a couple million of usable oil. Man, they gonna sell that shit raw, uncut, man. That shit's straight off the brick, man. What the hell is we talking about?
We've gotten rid of tremendous numbers of federal jobs, government jobs. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. And yet the employment numbers are very good. They're really getting better. But now we have all those people to work in the private sector for a lot more money. I think that's one of the very big things. The other thing is at 5.4%. And remember, this is after we had a shutdown. And that shutdown had an impact because the concept of the shutdown, even though it's before, people knew we were going to be shutting down. A lot of bad things happened. And by the way, on January 30th, you may have another shutdown. We'll see what happens. But I think the numbers, Caitlin, were really amazing. Look, to think about 5.4%, nobody thought that. They thought it was going to be 2%. And you know what it is? It's tariffs. And it's also November 5th. We had a great election, a great election. Our country was dead 1.5 years ago, and now we have the hottest country anywhere in the world, and I hope you guys were impressed. 5.4%, and we haven't even really transitioned yet. There's no reason it can't be much, much higher than that. Yeah.
Can you respond to the manufacturing?
Let's give CNN a chance. You know, they've been fighting so hard to get back into the mainstream.
Mr. President, you posted some numbers actually on Truth Social last night. People saying you posted the job data early when you're not supposed to obviously share it till the next morning. Did you do that on purpose?
No, I don't know. If they posted them, I said post them whenever you get a chance. I don't know. They gave me some numbers. When people give me things, I post them. But the numbers are amazing. Yeah.
How does the administration plan to distribute the money from Venezuela oil sales? Is it, well, obviously you say it's going to go to this controlled account.
Yeah.
Would it go back to Venezuela in a direct payment? Is it going through these goods? How do you plan to do that?
Well, we want to make sure that Venezuela can survive. You know, Venezuela needs money, and we're going to make sure that they get money. And we're going to get money, and the oil companies are going to make something for the work they do, and they're going to get back their money. We're devising a formula, but it won't be so much of a formula. It's going to be what they need. We're going to take care of what they need. There'll be plenty left over. We're going to have a lot of money left over.
Crazy.
And the money left over is going to the United States of America, and the oil companies are going to be very happy. Yeah.
Offer a backstop to these oil companies for like financial guarantees, some sort of backstop if the country did destabilize again.
That's a very interesting question. Using the word backstop, I haven't heard that word in a long time. That was at the Wharton School of Finance I last heard. That's a good term. We ought to use it more often. I hope I don't have to give a backstop. Look, these are very smart people. The smartest people are not only in oil and business. These are the biggest companies in the world sitting around this table. They know the risks. I mean, there are risks. We're going to help them out. We're going to make it real easy. They're going to be there for a long time. We're going to be there together for a long, long time. And they're going to be taking the oil, and they're going to be bringing oil prices down. They're going to make a lot of money. They're going to get their money back. They're going to be safe. The people of Venezuela are going to be big beneficiaries, and the United States of America is going to be a big beneficiary for what we've done. And you know, it's also very big for national security because, again, just like Greenland, we can't have China or Russia occupy Greenland. We can't have China or Russia occupy Venezuela. And if we didn't do what we did, China or Russia would have been in Venezuela. I think I can, where's Mr. Chevron? So let me ask you, they would have been there if we didn't do this. Do you agree with that?
They certainly have a lot of economic interests in country. There's absolutely no argument about that.
They were trying to be there. I mean, you know, we had a Russia, I guess sort of I call it a semi-Russian ship yesterday that we took over, and Russia decided not to defend that ship against us. It's a big movement. The ship was loaded up with oil, and we took the oil, and it came out of that port. But Russia would be there or China would be there, and we want them to be there for a different reason. We want them, do you people agree? In particular, China, they need a lot of oil. Russia doesn't need so much, but Russia was there anyway. But I assume you agree that China would like to be doing a lot of business there by buying oil, and I want to just tell President Xi and President Putin, but more so in this case President Xi, because they do need a lot of oil, and we are open for business in the United States, and we are open for business in Venezuela, right? Go ahead, Joe. You know, I could take questions from these people all day long. You know, they're sitting here, and generally they're very rich, very powerful, but nobody gives a damn about them. It's a sad thing. You have all that money, all that power, and look at all these crazy questions. We could do this all day long and they wouldn't be satisfied. So we'll take a few more, though. Let me ask you more importantly, do you have any questions from the biggest? Do you have any questions for the biggest people on earth, the biggest business people, the biggest companies anywhere on earth? Do you have any questions for these people? No, do you have a question for them?
Yes.
Go ahead, ask them.
Companies in the room that they are committed to rebuilding the oil infrastructure in Venezuela, and for the executives in the room, what do you need from the administration in order to invest?
That's a good question. You want to go and answer that question?
Yes. I'll refer you back to the statements I made before. There are a number of legal and commercial frameworks that would have to be established to even understand what kind of returns that we get on the investments. So I think all the investments and the opportunity sets, I think everyone sitting around this table would have the opportunity and the know-how and the capability to make the investments. The questions will ultimately be how durable are the protections from a financial standpoint, what do the returns look like, what are the commercial arrangements, the legal frameworks, all those things have to be put in place in order to make a decision to understand what your return would be over the next several decades that these $1 billion investments will be made on.
You know, can I just say that because we have, again, the biggest people on the planet Earth around this table, biggest companies in the world. I'd like to just ask them to introduce themselves. We'll start with the
Dang, my bad, chat.
Thank you, President Trump. John Addison and VTOL. We're here to ensure that you are going to be able to move all of this oil all around the world at the best price possible so that the influence that you have over the Venezuelans will ensure that you get what you want. Thank you. Good point.
Thank you, Mr. President. Ryan Sheffield is former Terra. My grandfather, Hugh Sheffield, was president of ARCO, Venezuela. Thank you for what you did.
Do you like what we're doing?
There's a lot of shale there. A lot of inside.
You would be very happy looking.
No, I ain't never been to Canada.
Right now, right?
Yes, sir.
Good. Thank you.
Luis Rodriguez, unfortunately, the only Venezuela American sitting on this, around this table. I want to personally thank you for the courage of your actions over the last couple of weeks. I think I speak, and I speak of Venezuela in general in saying there's optimism. You've brought optimism to the table, and if the conditions are met, the opportunity is absolutely immense.
I agree with you. Immense. It's a tremendous opportunity.
Our first
What's up, Jose?
Thank you for what you've done. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Mr. President, I'm Wayne Riggs, CEO of Power Energy. We're one of the companies that refineries in the U.S. are uniquely configured to run Venezuelan oil, and we're more than happy as this opportunity expands for us to further invest in our refineries to produce more of it.
And you're very much set up for the heavy oil, right?
Yes, sir.
That's great. That's great. We're ready for it. Thank you, Mr. President, for having us here. And thank you for opening the door to a better Venezuela. We are a Spanish company that we are fully committed to invest here in the States. We have invested over the last 15 years $21 billion in the American oil and gas in Pennsylvania, in the Gulf of America, in Texas, and in Alaska with the discovery of Greenland that is going to have the first oil this quarter and is going to change and going to reverse the declining history of that great state of Alaska. We are in Venezuela, Mr. President, with our partners
You said chill out on the bag.
produce the gas that guarantees stability and has 3 hours in Venezuela. So we are committed to this stability, and on top of that, we are on the ground, we have people, we have facilities, we have technical capabilities, and I take your point, Mr. President, we are ready to invest more in Venezuela. Today, we are producing 45,000 barrels a day gross of oil, and we are ready to multiply by 3 this figure in coming 2-3 years, investing hard in the country, following your recommendations, you allow us, of course, and in the framework, commercial and legal framework that will allow this growth. So thank you, Mr. President. Thank you. Great job you've done. Thank you.
Mr. President, thank you for having me. I'm Matt Sheedy. I'm with Tallgrass Energy. We are an infrastructure business, so whether it's oil, gas, CO2, we move that around. So most of my customers are sitting around the table and happy to lend our expertise to what's going on in Venezuela to support the people. And obviously infrastructure is going to be critical to see repaired. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. President, thank you. An honor to be here. Marianne Mannon, Marathon Petroleum. We are one of the largest U.S. refiners. On behalf of the men and women of Marathon Petroleum and of our industry, thank you and the administration for what you're doing for U.S. energy independence. We have the ability and the capability of our assets to process Venezuelan crude, and people of Marathon Petroleum stand ready to do so.
Do we need more refineries in our country?
In the U.S., probably not. We have sufficient capacity.
That's amazing. A lot of it was approved during my first term. We were getting you approvals that nobody could have gotten in Louisiana and other places. And they got built. Before that, it was a disaster. We didn't have the refineries. Now we do because of the first term. Please.
Darren Woods, ExxonMobil.
Yeah, we'll go over here.
Thank you, Mr. President. Jeff Hildebrand, founder and chairman of Hillcorp Energy, one of the largest private energy companies in America.
Who's bigger, you or Harold?
We're close.
Huh?
We're close. Harold. Absolutely, Mr. Harold. But thank you for your great, tremendous leadership in protecting the interests of the Western Hemisphere. The message that you have sent to China and our enemies to stay out of our backyard is absolutely fantastic. So thank you. And finally, Hillcorp is fully committed and ready to go to rebuilding the infrastructure in Venezuela.
You'll go there? You'll be going?
Yes.
Good. That's good. You'll be very happy.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. President. Jeff Miller, CEO of Halliburton Company. We are the largest American oilfield services company. We're the second largest in the world. Been in business over 100 years. Started operations in Venezuela in 1938. Long time in Venezuela. I personally lived there for 4 years and raised my kids there. So quite familiar with Venezuela, and just couldn't express gratitude more so for the opportunity to return to Venezuela under the stability that I know that this team and your team are able to deliver. So
when did you leave? When did you leave Venezuela?
As a company, we left under the sanctions in 2019. So we had intended to stay, and then when the sanctions went into place, we were required to leave. But very much interested in returning. And 600 Venezuelans with Halliburton today, all around the world. Look forward to putting them back to work.
Great job. Great job. You'll be back. Please.
Mr. President, I'm Alex Bamberg. My company, Aspect Energy, is one of the leading American international wildcatters. We've found significant fields in central.
Are you a wildcatter?
I'm a wildcatter.
That's pretty cool, I'll tell you. I would have been a wildcatter too if I was in, and you've been successfully wildcatting.
We've found significant fields in Central and South America, in the Middle East, and in Europe. We're a leading oil producer in Hungary. But probably the most pertinent example is what a wildcatter does is take on risk and try to reduce it, and other people come in and put more capital in later, so we're kind of kickstarters in the oil industry. We went into Kurdistan very early on, back when people told us it wasn't safe and we shouldn't do it. We found a big field there, and it ultimately got to be developed along with one of my colleagues here to be one of the big leading fields in Kurdistan. We think that Venezuela has a tremendous amount of opportunity. If you look at the investment required, people are talking about hundreds of billions of dollars. If you put that in perspective, that's 1 million barrels a day.
Damn.
15 years is $220 billion net cash flow.
What's up, Cash?
To be able to kickstart production and then reinvest and have the confidence to reinvest. So what you're doing by putting the United States in control of the cash flow coming out of the country gives companies like ours the confidence to say we can kickstart this production and then reinvest. In Hungary, we've invested $1 billion in changing the trajectory of Hungarian oil production. We were only able to do that not because we could write $1 billion check, we're a smaller company, but because we reinvest all of the cash flow back into new production. Mark Nelson with Chevron.
Sure. Thank you, Mr. President. I'm Claudio Scalzi in ICO, Italy. We started working in Venezuela in 1980. We have a lot of oil, but now just the gas is flowing because it's not under sanction. And as my colleague from Repsol said, we cover about 50% of the electricity in the country, so that is essential to avoid any kind of problem, social problem. We own about 4 billion barrels of reserves, so a huge amount in the Orinoco Belt in the central Venezuela. We have now in the country 500 people, most Venezuelan, and we are ready to invest. Clearly, we are ready to invest. We thank you for the big efforts and the efficiency of your action, and we are here. And we are here to work together with the U.S. We are also a big investor in the U.S. So I know. We thank you again, and we are there. And we are also ready to join with American companies in our assets to develop and go faster with good investors and good know-how from the U.S. company. Yeah. Thank you. You've done a great job. Thank you very much.
Mr. President Ross Perot, good to see you again. I'm Chairman of Hillwood and HKN Energy. Been in the energy business 45 years, and we have been working with your team quite a bit. We have been in Kurdistan now for 19 years, along with Alex, and built a very good business. But now with your team, we're looking at Syria, we're now in Libya, and so we are very excited to look at Venezuela with you and your group, and look forward to continuing to build this great industry.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mr. President, thank you for having us here today. Wael Salwan from Shell. Of course, we have a huge presence here in the U.S., in the Gulf, as well as in Pennsylvania with the petrochemical facility, which I think we had the opportunity to host you at, as well as being one of the largest LNG off-takers of American LNG. We have been in Venezuela for a very long time. We actually drilled in 1914 the first well that discovered oil in Venezuela, and on the back of which the entire energy industry was established in Venezuela. When we left in the 1970s because of nationalization, we had 1 million barrels per day of production. But we have kept boots on the ground in Venezuela all this time, and we now have a few $1 billion worth of opportunities to invest in, subject to OFAC approval. So we are ready to go and looking forward to the investments in support of the Venezuelan people.
That's great. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. President. Ben Marshall, the American CEO for Vitol. Alongside Chuck Bureau, we're very thankful to have worked with the government in Venezuela and to be able to bring the crude oil to market at a market price as quickly as we can to help stabilize the country. Thank you.
Thank you.
Brian Lance, Conical
Mr. President. Olivier Lepoche, CEO of SLB, or formerly known as Schlumberger, the largest global oilfield services. We have been in Venezuela since 1930, and we still operate. We operate today on the ground with in support of Chevron. We have ability to scale. We have 1,100 Venezuelans in the company, 2,000 additional that are calling us to go back to country and to go back to work. We're able to mobilize in the last 18 months, 2 rigs, and deliver 50 wells with success. So we are here. We have knowledge of the subsurface like nobody else has. We have boots on the ground, capacity on the ground, $700 million of equipment value on the ground in Venezuela, ready to mobilize for all of our partners, customers. So we are ready to scale fast, and we really want to thank the administration, Secretary Wright, Secretary Bergen, for the effort they are supporting and giving us to be successful on behalf of the Venezuelan oil and gas industry. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Well, check this out. They say the very best are last. And I don't have that sexy accent like this guy next to me here. Mr. President, my name's Bill Armstrong. I'm Armstrong Oil and Gas. I'm a private independent guy. And in real estate, you were a wildcatter. So wear that motto proudly. But like you, I was my own guy. I don't have shareholders. I don't have private equity partners, but I've been drilling all over the place. In fact, I had the largest discovery in Alaska, biggest discovery in 50 years in our country. I now control 8 million acres adjacent to Venezuela, so I'm already heavily invested in the area. We share a 150-mile border with Venezuela and the countries of Aruba and Curacao, and we are ready to go to Venezuela. It is, in real estate terms, it is prime real estate, and it's kind of like West Palm about 50 years ago.
Yeah.
Very right.
Yep, I agree with you. Thank you. Congratulations. So I think what we're going to do is speak without the press to these gentlemen, see what kind of a deal we can make. We're going to get them involved. I'm going to ask Doug and Chris and some of the people that we have from the business standpoint representing our country to start talking about the confines of a deal. I have an idea what I want, what I think we should have. We have to get them to invest, and then we have to get their money back as quickly as we can, and then we can divvy it all up between Venezuela, the United States, and them. I think it's simple. I think the formula is simple. We start with a brand new plate, and it's going to be a tremendous success. I think it's going to be probably like few other things could ever be. You know, there's so much. Venezuela's been really taken advantage of by a lot of people. They drill very little. I mean, as much as you hear they have, they drill very, very little, very small percentage. But now that'll change, and it'll change very rapidly because these are the biggest people, and it'll change very rapidly. So if you don't mind, I'll ask the press to leave, and we will see what kind of a deal we're going to make with these geniuses, and I think you're going to come out very good. Thank you all very much. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you. You can take that. We'll come back for the papers.
Oh shit. Alright, chat. Alright, chat, we finna get up out of here, man. Look, I was asleep, man. Good night, chat. Double tap screen, shut a live out. We'll see y'all on the next one. Dang.